Hello and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. Again, another glorious morning is upon us here at our beach base, and you can see that the Wave Rider is docked up and it is all repaired up with even some upgrades. And today we're going to upgrade it even further, because now it is time to make the Wave Rider be awesome. It was already awesome, but even further than it can be, because we are going to throw some wings on this thing. I would like to use the wing blocks. We got the the edge here, which is of course all these ones I can scroll through, and then the wing fill, and also I want to stick some solar panels on the Wave Rider, because I should be able to do that and take the Wave Rider and make it fly. So the Wave Rider is going to become our first super all-terrain vehicle, able to go to all of the waters of the world, as well land on them and fly between them. So let's get started. What I have done to the Wave Rider just recently is, of course, we've extended out the dock a little, got this built up somewhat, did at least all the catwalks, so it's very nice to walk along. We can just walk right out to the Wave Rider to get on. But we have repaired it up. Pop onto spectator camera here. As you can see, the back is all repaired. The engine has been replaced. Oh, well, there's still a dent there. I didn't miss that. But this has all been repaired and rebuilt inside. All those tanks are ready to go. The engine has been... the tank has been replaced. As well, I added on big thrusters pointing backwards, which will allow us to have enough thrust that we can get this thing airborne. So, I'm thinking that right off the battery, we're going to start with some wings. And I just need to back to my typical color for my stuff. We need steel plate to get them started. So let's go grab 100 steel plate, just so that we have some materials to start working on things. And I think that's all we need to do at the moment, right? Yeah, I can place everything with just steel plate. So, I'm thinking we're going to take the wing, and we're going to take this basic slope of a wing and go off of the battery like so. Because then that gives the turret, it's still got its clear line of sight. It can still shoot upwards if it needs to. And we can just go back. So 2, 3, 4, say 5, 6 wings off to the side. And then the center here can all get filled by the wing fills. Which, of course, is going to take a little while to place them all out, but such is life when you're working in survival. But after I get all that in place, I was thinking, well, why not? Let's plop a solar on the top of this thing. We'll line it up with the turret here. And go solar 1. And I can't place it on this side yet, as I need to do a couple wing fills in here first. But solar 2. And so our wings will go back at least enough to cover the solar panels. Do like this. That looks good. Like that. And so when that comes out, I need to go one more. Boop, there we go. And now this wing can get all filled in. Ooh, and I think that looks kind of good. I think that's enough wing for the Wave Rider to be able to fly on. And if you look at the calculations for the solar panels, Look there in the top left there. Power output for these is 500 kilowatts each, so I can have up to 1 megawatt on this Wave Rider, which, when we look at our H2O2s for on this thing, it only needs 375. It's slow, but theoretically, as long as this Wave Rider had ice, you could sit this thing in the water and just let it slowly refill its tank, and it could theoretically have infinite range. Fly to another area, park it, leave it running, because it'll gain power during the day and the battery will sort of cover it off overnight, and then it eventually refill its tanks enough that it can fly home. So to do that, we're going to need a collector to go from the water so that we can collect ice, so that we can actually do that. And it just so happens, I didn't plan this at all, but there is just the right amount of space for this. So if we pop in here, we can see that for the connections facing downwards, we could go off of what is the medium cargo container that's in there. Actually, no, wait. Medium cargo container's there. This is a conveyors, and then that conveyor goes up to the turret. So we could go off of the conveyor here, down right in the center of the Wave Rider right there. But I kind of want to keep the floaty blocks in the center, because that's where all the weight is. There isn't much weight up here at the nose. And just so happens that there is this small conveyor coming out of the bottom of the cockpit. So if we go essentially from where the H2O2 gen is here and go straight down, we can put it in right there, and it should fit perfectly flush. So our 3x3, which is going to be here, it feels weird cutting the hole in the bottom of a boat, but hooray for space engineers physics, you know? But if I slice my way through here, one more armor block, that is the H2O2 gen. And if I get rid of this floaty block and this armor block, there's the connector. Okay. So then what I can do is this conveyor here has side connections all the way around. Well, not all the way around, on 2 of its sides. So I have to make sure I'm getting the right orientation for it, but I can put the thing right there, making sure that that orientation's to the side that it's needed, and I can plug it in. I think it's going to actually work out quite nicely and look wonderful. So let's get this all ground down and get that the collector in there into position. Alright, so the hole has been created. So first things we need to do is make sure that the conveyor bits are built up before I cover them over, otherwise this thing won't be able to conveyor out all of the ice that it creates. I do have a hole here. I should probably just patch that up. Yes. And then conveyor, this way the connector should fit nicely within this space. But first I gotta make sure, okay, so it's forward and back. The small conveyors are in the right spot. Plunk it right in there. Get it welded up. And we'll make sure that this thing is off immediately, because it is going to be sucking up huge quantities of water. But if I take a look at the collector, it has already grabbed a little bit of water. Sorry, a little bit of ice. And that means that's going to work. We just need to grab stuff for 2 solar panels. The planter's empty. Excellent. 1, 2. And grab that stuff, which thankfully I have everything all prepared because I'm a smart cookie. Gotta be prepared. Boy Scouts motto. Got to have all of your building materials being pre-built and allocated and ready to go. And I can weld up the rest of the wing from the underneath afterwards. Get those two online. Take a look here for solar. For these two panels, maximum possible output is 500. The current output is only 87. So current max is 260. So if I take myself and we disconnect from the base, I just want to pull away a little bit. We should be able to see our solar panels. Yeah, they are. Are they effectively running this wave rider? Keeping it online, which is pretty awesome. H2O2 generator is off. Let's see. What am I using for power at this moment? Come here, battery. Your current output is 27 kilowatts. But you are charging every so often. So, yeah, we're positive power on this thing. That's awesome. This thing is making its own fuel now. And now all we have to do is just go to the collector and turn it on, and then we can see the collector is grabbing ice as quickly as it wants to, which we're going to turn that off for now. And then we can just go to our H2O2 gen, turn it on, and that will replace any lost hydrogen for the cost of power. So we can just sit with our inertial dampeners on. It'll do a nice station keeping for us. The H2O2 gen is making a little bit of fuel, and the solar panels are keeping up with the demand as our battery is staying fully charged. Heck yeah! That works! That actually works! Oh my god, this wave rider is gonna become like so much stronger after all this is all done. Now we just need to get this going on the other wing and actually get this stuff all welded up, which of course will take me a minute here. More than that. 100 plates. There we go. Yeah, let's just pop out the other wing here, which is, again, is going to be all the way along until we cover the entire size of that solar panel, which should be there. And then got to fill in the wing with all these little blocks, which is going to be an absolute bitch of a time to weld all these individual blocks up, but whatever. Such is life. And with just a couple more here, our wings are complete. Oh my god, that looks glorious. Oh, damn. All right. First thing I want to do is just refill my tanks, please. Thank you. And we'll go and drop off all those excess materials. And grab some food. Because we grab our emergency rations and some water. And I think we can go and take this for a test flight. Now, my plan, essentially with this being now a seaplane, is I should be able to get to various resource deposits much, much faster than normal, which would be great. So, if I take my spectator camera here and fly on out. We can re-enable some of our GPS points that we've turned off. Because there's the cobalt island, and there's also the bauxite. And the bauxite's 20-something, about 30 kilometers away. It's a little bit inland, which is kind of annoying, but doable. But the cobalt, for example, is right in this bay. And the problem with that cobalt is the fact that I have to boat all the way out and around this head of land in order to get to it. Where if I could just take off and fly over this piece of land, it would cut a massive portion of my journey off in terms of speed. It might use more fuel since we're trying to fly instead of go along the top of the ocean, but it means I could get over to the cobalt way faster, which is an excellent thing. And then we can head off to the gold fields, which are just about here. So today I'm thinking we've got our ability to fly. We should test by trying to go for cobalt and see how much fuel we have when we get there. After we do that, we could try to go for the allied base that is actually right here and visit them, because that's another just quick flight and land in this bay. And then if we still have fuel, we could head on and try to go for gold. Okay, I got 6.27 emergency rations. I should probably take some more emergency rations. That's the end of them. Okay. That is the end of my emergency rations. I'll take some of the artificial food, and I will take a little bit of tofu and a little bit more drinking water, just so I can have enough stuff to keep myself alive for a while. As this thing, as we've shown, can literally refuel itself if I just let it sit there. It will slowly refuel itself back to 100%. Okay, so I have my backwards thruster turning on and off with that button, which is good. I have my big boy thrusters turning on and off with 2. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to go to my big boys and override them all the way. And then I'm just going to have them be on, like, off and on just for my big thrust. So let's give this a go. We're going to get up to speed and then pitch up and fly out of here. The Wave Rider is now airborne. We'll turn to head over the horizon here. Get over this spit of land. And I'm not sure how much hydrogen I am consuming at this moment. But we've used so far 3%. And I mean, comparatively to going around this spit of land, this is way faster. I don't care if I use like a good 15% to get over this. I will pay that in the convenience of being able to fly there instead. Now, I'm going to fly all the way to the cobalt because I want to see how much this would take for about a 30-kilometer trip. Because then that will give me a flight range. Because if I can say, oh, okay, this plane will fly within 30 kilometers, it uses, say, 40% of our fuel. Then I can say, oh, okay, I can calculate out how much is going to be our full distance. It's about 100-ish kilometers of range. Oh, but this is awesome. Oh, yes. I've got a flying boat. I'm so happy. This is going to make life so much easier for me. Like, there's that island over there on the left, just at the tip of my wing now. It has coal on it. It was the most annoying thing to get to before. I'm actually going to see also if I can take a single one of my gyros and override to hold steady. Oh, that works quite nicely. Alright, you fly. You fly there for a while. I can just spectator camera off of you. And get some wonderful shots. Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Thumbnails. Oh, everywhere. Just massive quantities of thumbnails. Yeah, one of these angles will be the thumbnail. Not sure which. Gotta make sure to leave room for the text and say the top left there. Get a nice angle, fill up the whole shot. Beautiful. Anyway, while that is flying very nicely here, we will just let it coast. This island, for example, right over the top of it, has a patch of coal right here in the mountain, which could be a very useful power source in the future. So with this thing, I can literally, because this coal patch is 20 kilometers to my base, I can literally just fly there with little to no effort, because I don't have to worry about going from my base out and around and back and then down into that island when I could just go whoop whoop straight there. Yeah. Oh yes. And setting a gyro to override is actually holding my course and elevation extremely well. Like, I am surprised on how well this is working. So far, we've gone 15 kilometers per se on 20% hydrogen. So, 15 kilometers on 20%. So then that'll just be that 15 times the 5. So 75 kilometers flight range. So that means that I can go 35-ish kilometers away and back in a single flight. Assuming no refueling en route or at destination and such, which I'm going to. I'm going to sit there and refuel while I'm at this destination because I am actively running my H2O2 generator making 10 liters a second. Unfortunately, these tanks are using hundreds of liters per second to fly because these thrusters, large thrusters, are currently using 192 liters a second each, which is a lot. Very annoying. But yeah, it would take a very long time to refuel. I might want to add on some more H2O2 gens. Maybe, because I do have the space in front of these two blocks. Like, there's those large connectors at the front of the hydrogen tanks. I could add 2 more H2O2 gens to bring it up to 3, which would give me 30 hydrogen per second, which is not much. I wouldn't be able to run that off of my solar panels because they would take too much power, but I could at least fuel up a bit faster and then have a longer time, downtime recharging the battery. Yeah, but also the battery holds a megawatt, so you could run all those H2O2 gens for a while before the battery gets low, and then just turn them off and fly on the hydrogen while the battery recharges. So it's not too bad. This thing only needs 15 kilowatts, which is good. But cobalt mine is only 10k out, and we're only used 30% of our hydrogen. Like, comparatively to the last episode where I came out to the cobalt mine, like, it took the entire episode. And it took all night. It took hours for me to go all the way out here, mine and come all the way back. Where this is literally just going to be, oh yeah, I'm there sort of feeling. Which is a little ridiculous, to say the least. Alright. We're just 8 kilometers away. I should start probably thinking about coming down in altitude now. Coming in for a landing. And what I should be able to do is I already have these other forward thrusters. I should put them on override. And then I can basically just throttle off as I need it, my large thrusters. And just use that to come in for a nice gliding landing. Right in the bay here. I could add some more solar panels too. Just thinking about it. I could add, but I need to leave room at the back there so I can actually dock up to the base. I'll figure something out. Here we are coming down with just enough thrust to keep our speed up. We'll just pitch for glide a few degrees below. Just watching my speed, keeping up the 46 meters a second. Right as we're getting close to the water here, we'll pitch up, give ourselves a little bit of more of a thrust. And flare right at the end to kill our vertical speed. And drop down to the water. Cut our thrusters. And we have landed. We made it to the cobalt mine in absolute record time. And we can take that gyroscope off of override and then get back control of our boat. And head on into the cobalt mine with 61 hydrogen remaining. Hydrogen tanks are now refueling ever so slowly. But I do mean ever so slowly. Okay. That's an excellent thing. That is a very good test. I don't think that we're going to have enough fuel to warrant going out to the gold yet. What I think might be a good idea is I should set up fuel bases. So I can just go to somewhere, refuel, and then continue flying from there. So like, for example, here we've got the cobalt mine, and I could set up a miniature dock here that has just a few wind turbines, an H2O2 generator going full ham, with a collector on all the time. It's just making hydrogen. And then when I want to come out here with my Wave Rider or any other plane that runs on hydrogen, I can just dock up, refuel, and then go from there. Like the same thing, it's like all I need to do then is be able to make the hop from one location to another. So if I can go from like, so if I set up one of those bases, I have a refueling station here on the cobalt mine, then my range, instead of being from there 30 something kilometers, which, what is that? Yeah, about 35 kilometers. That's about the range I can go and get back safely. Then I can go another 35 kilometers from the cobalt mine, which would allow me to get to this AI base that's in here, in this area. Where's their, where is this base's, little setup? There's this, is this the, yeah, this is the island. that has the base. Ah, here it is. There's a little platform. So there's the base that spawns there. So then I could get to this base. And I could set up a little refueling station there. And if I just have a bunch of these little refueling stations around the world, I can just leapfrog from place to place to get around. And then from there, I could set one up over here at the coal, over at the cobalt, over at the bauxite, and then my flight range is massively extended. I think that is awesome. Since we're here, we might as well get a little bit of cobalt. And because, you know, why not? The cobalt mine is right up here, so I'll get at least a few loads of cobalt just to make this trip a success. Ah, beautiful. That sweet blue ore. And then we'll fly home so that we can have a successful test of the now flying Wave Rider, which I kind of feel like needs a name change. Is it the Wave Rider anymore now that it can fly? Or should I rename it? Should it now be some sort of seabird? I don't know. I'll think of a name. But yeah, the sun is already starting to go down. We're going to get a few loads of cobalt here and then head back to base. We've got 60% hydrogen right now, so we should have more than enough to fly back with probably about 15-20% remaining. And we'll just have to work on increasing that range a little bit if we want to be able to get all the way out to the gold, or just have to get out the gold by going over the water, which is a lot more fuel efficient, because I can just sit my little thrusters in the back on override at like 25% or something like that, and just let them go for hours and hours. So hop over the island with the flight and then just coast along the water. But that's going to be it for now, I think. It was a fun little expedition to upgrade the Wave Rider today. And I said that in the last episode that next episode we'll get to some gold. But next episode we'll get some gold. I just needed to make sure that this thing actually functioned before I went on that far of a trip. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.